Я верю и знаю, что что-то прекрасное случится в моей жизни. Сегодня, завтра и каждый день после этого. Hi everyone, this is Razor fucking Standards for August 18th of 2025. What did I just say? Sure, it was in another language, but it's a little saying that I highly recommend everyone tell themselves every single day, at least a few times a day. What it means is, I believe something amazing will happen to me today, tomorrow, and every single day after that. And I can't tell you how many amazing things have happened on a daily basis immediately after I started saying that. So I highly recommend that you take a little note card, write that down, laminate it up so that it doesn't get damaged, and just keep it in your pocket. And whenever it seems like life is not going the way you intended it to, just say that, and believe me, it will. Life will go the way you intended to, because everything is simply a matter of what happens in your mind. Because what happens in your mind is then reflected in the external world, in the so-called physical world. But your mind is the master control panel for determining what is occurring in that physical, tangible world. So with that noted, just a few things from roleplay practice, from Wolves meetings, etc. that I wanted to touch on. So the first thing I wanted to touch on is we did some more intro work yesterday. And the biggest feedback that I received was that, yes, I was getting a lot better, which I'm really grateful to hear that coming from the leaders of Wolves. And I'm not gonna take that as flattery. I will take it as genuine praise. And again, I'm immensely grateful. But I know that in the long term, it's just the tip of the iceberg, and I have a lot of growth to fulfill, I guess. A lot of growth to fulfill in order to get to the level I need to be at in order to function as a global producer. And specifically, at least in regards to the introduction, that could be better, is have more fluidity, because there were some moments in time where I was a little choppy. And there was just some slight awkwardness in the way that I said it. The other thing is continue with the authoritative tonality. Obviously, the intro is meant to be more of the curious, confused tone, because it brings that tone of mysteriousness, scarcity, confusion that in the client's mind they're like, huh? Who is this guy? He's doing what? Huh? So yes, for the intro you want that, but you still want to convey, even in that intro, you still want to convey authority and still want to have downward tonality, breaking rapport, right? So that's for the intro, and just gonna continue practicing that with intent. The other thing is we started having the Zoom office today, where basically people who are already on the phones just go in there and they do their calls in there, and we get to see each other and have feedback which is amazing because immediately as soon as I start hitting the phones, I know for a fact I'm gonna be there for 12 hours a motherfucking day, if not more. And definitely at least, I don't know how long on Saturday and Sunday, but sure as fuck gonna be there Saturday and Sunday too. Because in order to make the vision come to life, there needs to be extreme accountability, and even better, we need to be surrounded by each other to make each other grow, and be surrounded by those who also want more out of life, which is why I'm immensely grateful for that. Now, in regards to what actually happened was, there are a few calls. Several guys got to the point of application. One guy got really close. He got so close that literally all was left was the banking information, and it just so turns out that the lady needed to go, and it appeared as though she genuinely needed the coverage. It's just that what happened, one is that she was a big yapper, and even though our guy, he kept it relatively quick, because every time he would ask a question or say something, she would immediately intervene with some comment about her family, which is whatever, some people are like that. But basically what he said is, had he made it just a tad shorter, he would have gotten her banking and gotten the coverage for her and made the deal go through. So it's a really good learning lesson. Some other guys got through the application, and for whatever reason, they weren't able to get all the way through. But the long story short is, one, get them through the intro with that tone of curiosity, scarcity, confusion, because that hooks their interest. It's like you're reading a book, you're not going to read it if the hook isn't good. And then get to the application fully, because most of the time they're not going to object too much if they really need it, right? So that's for that. Again, that Zoom office, I'm immensely grateful. I know for a fact I'm gonna fucking be there a lot. I'm gonna be there a lot once I'm done with this internship. Once the licensing is done, my ass is gonna be there a lot. It's gonna be swim, eat, calls for 12, 13, maybe 14 hours, sleep, repeat. Print cash, repeat. And get the fuck out of this fucking poverty, this fucking broke situation. I'm done being fucking poor. Aside from that, what else was there? Yeah, I mean, just been doing a lot of practice when I'm driving. So having long commutes, while it sucks, it seems like a waste of time, I make damn sure that time is used effectively by practicing the script without even looking at it, by practicing intros, by listening to myself, giving myself critique, and then implementing that critique. I mean, if God's giving me the time to work on an endeavor so that I can bring my family's name to a new standard, so that I can fulfill my identity, so that I can bring global value and print cash, you damn fucking sure I'm gonna get after that endeavor like you've never seen before. Because life is too damn short to just follow the herd and immerse myself in stagnant mediocrity, and I highly, highly, highly recommend you do the same. So, I guess with that being said, I know this one wasn't too technical, too specific, But what I will leave it off with is, right now, if you're currently in a situation where, financially you're kind of broke or you don't have much money, maybe you have some savings, but not a lot. If you have a burning desire in your ass to make something happen, to print money, to take care of your family, take care of yourself, live a life that's worth living, have things that you want, while at the same time making an impact on an immense and eventually global scale, then find an endeavor that can make this happen that's also somewhat aligned with your interests. And even though I haven't started making the sales yet, I know I'm going to be fucking killing it on the phones and producing a lot of policies. And I highly recommend that you get into sales as well. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. Not just because of the money you can make, but because of the person it'll make you. Because in order to succeed in this sales game, a lot of it comes down to what you see yourself as and your self-worth. Because if you don't believe in yourself and if you're not confident in yourself, well then of course you're not going to convey that confidence, that authority, that inner self-worth when you're on the phones. And if you don't convey that, why the fuck would anyone want to buy from you? But when you do convey it, they feel it, they trust and respect you, and they will buy it if they need it. So I highly recommend you get into sales instead of being a rat at a desk or in a factory or in a construction site or whatever other path. Yes, those are temporary, those are needed to save up some money to then put into the system, but eventually you got to go all in. I can't tell you how many years I've been dreaming and thinking about making that jump finally from the comfortable mediocrity of being an employee into something entrepreneurial like this. And finally, although it took some time, it took a lot of frustration and a lot of fucking struggles, it's here. And I'm grabbing that bitch by the throat, and I'm showing it who's boss. So make the vision come to life and live a life that's worth living. God bless. Take care. Goodbye.